But what I think makes this screenplay truly unique is that there is minimal to no explanation of the supernatural. And this is something that if you're writing a horror screenplay and you're trying to get past gatekeepers or producers who are trying to help you make it better, they're going to be asking the question, why? What is this? What makes this work? How can the viewer clearly understand the supernatural elements so that they're not questioning it and they're able to stop and enjoy the film? These are fair questions. These are things that, as a screenwriter, you have to know. But there is such a thing as over-explaining and too much expository and getting bogged down in all the rules and the details of the supernatural. Ari Aster doesn't do that. All this weird stuff starts happening and you don't really understand why. You get a little bits and pieces here about the occult and the demon king, but still it's never really explained other than, you know, it's generational. It's people who did something and it caused an effect, and this is the effect. And that's enough for you to get the story and understand it. But you really have to have collaborators that trust you as a screenwriter or a filmmaker to allow you to make a movie like this where you're going to say, look, at the end, there's going to be some crazy stuff going on and it's all going to make sense. Everybody's going to be okay with it. But maybe you don't understand all the rules. As opposed to Midsummer, which I feel like was very clear about the rules of the supernatural in the world and why it was happening. And what makes his writing unique is that he uses grief as a core theme, not just a plot device. The screenplay doesn't just use grief in the background. It structures the horror around the disintegration of the family. Also the slow, deliberate, slow burn nature that we've been talking about. The symbolism and the foreshadowing that he uses is unique to this screenplay, how it's layered all the way through. Every character is dealing with their own emotional themes. Nearly every event in the screenplay has a dual meaning, the psychological and the supernatural, and then blurring those two. Maybe one of the most unique parts of this screenplay is how they kill off the apparent protagonist like right away. When you start watching this film or you're reading this screenplay, Charlie stands out to us as like, this is about Charlie, the little girl. And then she's gone. Well, she's not really gone, I guess. Ari Aster, one of the true masters today, and here are how his words on the page look on the screen.
Come on, Peter. Here's your suit.
It's heartening to see so many strange new faces here today. I know my mom would be very touched and probably a little suspicious. My mother was a very secretive and private woman. It's Grandma. You know you were her favorite, right? Even when you were a little baby, she wouldn't let me feed you because she needed to feed you. She was a very difficult woman, which maybe explains me.
I recognize you from your mother.
What?
Sometimes I swear I can feel them in the room.
She had private rituals, private friends.
I'm gonna take care of me.
You don't think I'm gonna take care of you?
But when you die...
At the end.
And that is Hereditary by Ari Aster. And this slow burn elevated horror is a trendsetter, still influencing horror films 7 years later. You have a dollhouse and a treehouse and a demon king. Ari Aster, he writes family dramas and lets the grief do the jump scare.